Okay, so video 2 of my time here in New Zealand, and this time it's all about Queenstown. What a place. So Queenstown is like sometimes known as the adventure capital of the world. It's actually the birthplace of like bungee jumping, I think. There is so much to do there. It's only actually a little place, but literally you would not get bored there, like no matter how long you spent there. Unfortunately, I only managed to go for like a day and a half, which means that we didn't get to do like a lot of the things that we might have done if we'd have been there longer, or if we'd have actually been planning it in advance and was able to book some stuff. But yeah, we visited like at the end of June, so yeah, it's been pretty much a month since I actually went. Just been a bit slack with the editing and sorting out this video. Yeah, I'm just gonna fill this video out with some footage that I took when I was down there, just to give you a bit of an idea of what you could maybe do when you're in Queenstown, maybe what to expect. We did have a car, and I cannot recommend enough to get a car if you're in Queenstown, because Queenstown's great. It's a very small, like compact little place, but there is so much around that area that you can explore and drive to and see that otherwise you wouldn't be able to do probably if you didn't have a car. So it's not that expensive to get a car, and I would really recommend doing it because there's so many nice drives. Like literally everywhere you go is amazing. We'll get onto all of that and you'll see a lot of what we did. But first of all, I just did a lot of videoing on the plane journey there. So I flew from Wellington to Queenstown with Air New Zealand. The whole way there was like absolutely amazing. It's just pretty much like snow-capped mountains the whole way down pretty much. I'm not sure what it was the other side. I'm pretty sure we were like along the east coast, like driving down. So we were flying, okay, flying down the east coast. So I feel like on the left might have just been the sea, but yeah, on the right the whole way down was amazing. And as you come into Queenstown, I'd say that probably sitting on the left might be the best, because the plane like turns and it almost looks like you're the wing is almost touching like the mountains and the snow. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, but it probably doesn't matter too much. So it's going to be like a couple of minutes of that maybe. If you're not interested in the journey, which you should be because it's amazing, I'll put the time like here that you can skip to if you're not interested in that. So yeah, we arrived in Queenstown, we picked up our hire car. We were going to drive straight to Wanaka? I don't know how to say it. I think it's Wanaka, maybe, who knows. But we decided to take like a tiny detour to Arrowtown, which was like the historic Chinese settlement, which is another like fairly big-ish attraction, I guess, if you're in the Queenstown area. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like the little town is like going back in time about 60-70 years. It's really like quaint, like historically looking, and yeah, it's quite a cool little town. The actual Chinese settlement itself, I guess, is a little bit interesting. We didn't spend too much time there because our flight was delayed and we wanted to get to Wanaka and back like kind of before it got dark and icy on the roads and stuff. Yeah, it's basically just some like old huts that people used to live in. So it's probably worth doing, but wouldn't go crazy. From there we drove to Wanaka. So there's like 2 routes you can take. The quickest route is straight through the mountains, where like Cardrona is, so that's like one of the main skiing places in Queenstown. There is another route round the outside, so I don't think you go up like the windy roads and through the mountains. So if it's snowed recently, you're probably better off going around the outside if you've only got a car, because it literally is like the roads are kept quite well and they're clear, which is good, but you can see that it could get quite bad. Like there's literally just snow either side of you when you get into the mountains from that drive, but it is like absolutely stunning. So yeah, if the weather's looking okay, I'd definitely recommend going the quickest way, so straight through the mountains. Literally just like one road, pretty much. Like once you've, well, we drove from Arrowtown, I guess, but like once you've got to that area by Arrowtown, it's pretty much just one road. Like it's winding around the mountains, and then you drive straight through the middle of the mountains, and then you come to Wanaka, and what you're greeted with is, it's just amazing. You got the lake right in front of you at the end of the road, and like mountains in the background. We had like really nice weather, so we were pretty lucky. The sun was kind of like coming down over the back of the lake. So yeah, if you're in the area, 100% recommend going there. And we also found the most famous tree in the world, I would say, thatwanakatree. Yeah, it is on Google Maps as well, so we were trying to work out where it was, because you don't see it immediately when you drive in, but it is where it says it on Google Maps, so just follow that. It's just definitely worth checking out, or there's probably going to be a lot of people there because it is like a massive tourist attraction now. Who would have thought it, eh? Just a tree. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So there'll be some stuff from there right now. So yeah, following our little trip to Arrowtown and Wanaka and then back to Queenstown, we basically spent like the evening and the night in Queenstown. We also hit up Ferg Burger, which if you've like looked into Queenstown, Googled it, or watched anything on YouTube, chances are someone has said something about Ferg Burger. It is pretty good, I must admit. Here is what it looked like. So yeah, like a big crusty roll, decent burger. You're going to be lucky to get a seat. The queue was pretty ridiculous. Like every time we walked past it, like it's absolutely amazing how busy it is. And there's not a lot of seating inside, so we got really lucky. Just happened to have people leaving as we were waiting for our food. So we then decided to go up the Skyline gondola at night time because the weather the next day didn't look great. So we thought like, oh, if it's gonna be cloudy and miserable, like it might not be great up there. So let's do it at night, see what it's like. It kind of be a little bit different, I suppose, seeing it at night time and like looking at all the lights. Yeah, I guess it's cool to see it at the night time, but you can't really see much of the mountains which would surround you. So if you've got a clear day, I'd probably go up there during the day as opposed to the night time. It's pretty expensive, so I think we paid like $30 or something for like 2 pints, and like at another place just at the bottom in Queenstown was like half the price. So it is expensive, and the restaurant's buffet, which surprised me actually, is I guess if you've got a window seat it's probably worth doing it, but otherwise it didn't look that great. So following that we went to an ice bar. Little did we know that there's actually 2 in Queenstown, so we went to -5. There's also one called Below Zero. I wasn't massively impressed. Like it's okay. I hadn't been to one before, so it was kind of just doing it for the sake of experiencing it. But it's literally just like one little room. There's music, yeah, but not much atmosphere. And kind of once you've been in there for a couple of minutes, like there's not much more to see. So yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with that, but I guess I'm kind of glad I did it just for the sake of it. So we then went out for a couple of drinks. We went to World Bar. So we were recommended this by the person at the hotel. It was pretty lively, to be fair. So it's pretty much like an apres ski sort of party. Everyone comes back on like buses or whatever from skiing. And kind of this seems to be the place that people go. It was good. It wasn't too expensive in there either. And the music was pretty decent. So here is that. So the next day, obviously we still had the car. We decided to drive to Glenorchy, I don't know. I think it's like where they film some of Lord of the Rings. And you can do like trips there as well, but it's only like a 45-minute drive. And there are honestly like so many stop-off points on the way. The scenes are just unbelievable. The road literally like runs right along Lake Wakatipu. And yeah, it's you can't explain it. Like, you just, everywhere, every corner you turn, there's just like something new to see, and you're almost tempted to stop off at like every little lay-by and like photo point just to have a look and take it all in. Like, it is amazing. So probably allow yourself more than sort of an hour to get there, because you'll probably be finding that you're stopping off a few times on the way. We had some really strange weather. It was like sunny one way and like cloud and rainy the other way, which meant that we actually got to see a couple of rainbows, which was yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, you could almost like see the end of it like going into the water. So yeah, here's what Glenorchy looked like.
You got to let it go. 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 I'm ready to let go, go. I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to let go, go. I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to let go, go. I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to let go. You got to let it go.
So following that, we drove back to Queenstown, just like parked up the car in town, and we did the hike up Queenstown Hill. So I think it took like around about an hour to get to the top. Well, I say the top, like the viewing point. There is like another higher point, which is the actual summit. But it was pretty like icy and snowy up there. We did see a couple of people walking up to the summit, but I read online that the views that you get are not too much different. So at like the lookout point, you get like lovely views over the lake. You can kind of see Queenstown a little bit, but it's kind of obscured by the trees, but then you've just got like mountains all around you. And yeah, it's really nice. Like, it wasn't a massively difficult hike, or tramp as they call it here, but in the winter it can get quite snowy and icy, so just be careful with how the weather's been, and make sure you've got the right shoes on. So yeah, I guess like most of the things we did were kind of revolved around having a car and driving. Like the scenery is just unbelievable. Obviously if we were there for longer, we would have liked to go skiing and also do some activities like bungee jumping. You can do like the canyon swing, skydives. Also we would have done the luge obviously, but unfortunately that was closed for like maintenance. So that's something you can do when you get to the top of the gondola, do the luge back down. But yeah, unfortunately that wasn't open, otherwise that is something that we would have done. And yeah, so I'm definitely going to go back. There's so much more that I wanted to do, and still so much to see there. Probably one of the main attractions in New Zealand, to be honest. So we'll definitely head back down there soon. But yeah, I hope you kind of enjoyed this and it was somewhat helpful. So yeah, thanks for watching, and who knows where we'll be next time.